George R. R. Martin made another blog post in his not a blog section of his website. And I want you all to refrain from making jokes like, oh, wow, George has been writing more blog posts in his not a blog than he's written words for Winds of Winter. Because you want to know what? This winter, we're getting wins. Alright, just like the other video I did because it was actually nice and refreshing for my brain, I am reading this blog post for the first time and recording my reaction. I might then stop, think about his blog post for a few hours, and then add an extra little video to the end of this. I don't know. I don't know what future me is gonna do. Alright, I'm gonna do my George voice. I know you guys love it. So this is for you guys, my grandchildren. His post is titled, This, That, and Other Things. Too much to do, too much to do. That's your own fucking fault, George. Things are hopping, as my frogs told you down below. I could be writing long posts here about a dozen things, but I am sure most of you would sooner I were writing fiction, producing films and television shows, editing anthologies, you know. Yeah, I'm sure a majority of people following You're Not a Blog want you to do more television and film projects and not write fiction. But let me say a few quick words. We have a new book coming out from 10 Speed in October, The Rise of the Dragon, an illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty from Aegon the Conqueror to the regency of the boy king Aegon III. Super fucking downer if you know Aegon III. I could show you the covers, British and American, but my mighty minions have already done that in the post below. Just scroll down and enjoy. By the way, in case you didn't watch my other video, I don't blame you, I don't like watching me either. The US cover is black, the UK cover is green. UK are traitorous bastards. So I need you guys to keep a lookout for UK people in my comment section that are Team Green. We need to flush them out. I just want to clear up possible areas of confusion. In my blog post of 3/9, scroll further down, I made mention of a lavish coffee table book coming later this year, an illustrated condensed version of Fire and Blood done with Ilio and Linda, my partners on the world of Ice and Fire. Yes, I was speaking of The Rise of the Dragon, the same book. There has been some mention of Rise being an encyclopedia, but I do not think that is accurate, not unless the definition of encyclopedia has broadened considerably. It's a history, covering the same years and events as Fire and Blood, but not written in world by Archmaester Gyldayn, and much condensed from Gyldayn's original text. My friends Ilio and Linda of World and Ice and Fire fame handled the abridgment. So the reason why people were really confused was when you didn't explain it well enough, and that's not your fault, you didn't need to super explain it. But also because, I'm not quite so sure this book was needed. Oh look, he's gonna explain why the book is shorter and only covers half of the Targaryen history in World of Ice and Fire and the history we already know in Fire and Blood, but more condensed. Here we go. We need a shorter book to make room for all that art. That's the big thing about The Rise of the Dragon. It's not an encyclopedia, it's an art book, and a gorgeous one, I think. Rise will include 180 brand new illustrations from some of the finest fantasy artists in the world. Some of them will be full page. Many will be in gorgeous living and dying colors. Dragons, knights, battles, lords and ladies, castles, all the good stuff. So if you're a fan of fantasy art, you may want to pre-order your copy now. I still don't understand, and I don't make business decisions, why we need a coffee book table for this with the lore mixed in. Just release just a regular photo book with various art depictions from A World of Ice and Fire. I don't know why we need to do this specific half of the Targaryen lore, but condense the shit out of it and then put a bunch of pretty pictures. It just kind of feels money grubby, which again, as I said in my last video, I don't care. I don't care if this is just George's way of acquiring more money and it's not really project of passion, or it could be. It doesn't matter. I just don't understand why this was a priority. I love art. I have some of the art Game of Thrones books, just absolutely gorgeous. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot like that. I guess I can show some sample pages. I'll do that later. Gorgeous book. I love it. But I kind of think it's unnecessary just to focus in on that. I feel like it should have been a broader A World of Ice and Fire art book. Coffee art book. Coffee table art book. There we go. The other book mentioned in that post of 3/9, The Who's Who of Westeros, is coming as well, but not this fall. That one is a way off. Might be a year or two. A lot of work to be done. As my editors complain, it's hard to do a who's who when I keep inventing characters. Oh, George. You're so funny. Why do we need a who's who in Westeros? I know why. House of the Dragon's coming out, all the spin-offs. We need to start generating more merchandise, more books, reference books, art books, whatever, to get more people to buy it. There will be a second book coming out this year to tie in with the debut of House of the Dragon, but it won't be a new book, just an old one with a new cover. That's Fire and Blood, of course, the original, unabridged version of Archmaester Gildain, with new cover art from the HBO series. When I have seen the new cover, I will be sure to post it here. That's not too surprising. They want to have a House of the Dragon cover on it to get more people curious walking by in a bookstore going, oh, wait. There's a book based off of lore in this series, and so they'll end up buying it. It's done all the time with, if a book is made into a movie, they start generating covers with the movie characters on it or the movie poster just to get people, walking, seeing it, and going, oh my gosh, I loved that movie. I'm gonna read this material. Many of you reading this are fantasy fans, I know. Waiting for Winds of Winter, I know. But looking forward to the new TV shows as well. Rings of Power on September 2nd and House of Dragon on, well, you will know soon. Does that mean it comes out after September 2nd? I don't know. The fact that he listed Lord of the Rings first, and then House of the Dragon. I know the big thing is late summer, and it could be, but I'm still all about October. Give me some Spooktober, House of the Dragon, bitches dying. He talks a little bit about how you should watch The Last Kingdom while waiting for House of the Dragon. I haven't seen it. I can't recommend it or say anything negative about it. I think I've heard from you, lovely people, that it is a good series, and I should actually watch it. There's more, but I have other stuff to do, so I will sign off for now. The horns are blowing. The frogs are hopping. He's super excited. The horns are blowing. The horns of winter. I have a strong feeling deep in my heart he's almost done with Winds. Maybe that's why he's been going crazy with doing different projects, because Winds is in the bag. He's like, all right, I got this. I want to push some other stuff out first, then release Winds, and then, have people hounding me for a Dream of Spring. I feel like if he releases that stuff, gets the backlash now, the other non-A Song of Ice and Fire books, and then releases Winds, it's less likely for backlash than he releases Winds, then releases a bunch of projects, and people are like, hi, do you want to start on A Dream of Spring? Actually, I don't know, but which way would make you more angry? And if you don't care, it's fine to not care. Okay, I'm gonna think a bit about this, and then I will be back later to add some brain thoughts. Future Rawrist, the video is now in your hands. Okay, this is actually more than a few hours later, I'm sure you can tell. Also, I've had time to calm down, just in case past Rawrist was a little bit upset, so you can expect to have a much more calm take from Future Rawrist. Anyways, thinking about it, supporting artists to do 180 new illustrations, really cool. I always like it when we get more A Song of Ice and Fire artwork. So on that end, I think it's great, and I'm so happy that George has been employing artists to bring these things to life. Especially since all 180 are brand new, it just makes it even more exciting. Now, do I wish that this was a different book coming out? Of course, but I also feel a little bit better knowing that Linda and Ilio are the ones that are condensing the material to make The Rise of the Dragon, so that means George did almost probably no work. Maybe he scanned over it, but it seems really like he just said, hey, this is what I want to do. Artist over here, you do this. Ilio and Linda over here, you condense it. We're gonna make this book. I'll look it over, and I'll get the money. Which, again, is absolutely no shade to George. You do whatever you need to do. You want money making some weird BS book? Go right ahead. Speaking of that, what I'm actually talking about is the who's who of Westeros. Rise of the Dragon, I think you can justify that. 180 new illustrated images. Alright, condensed information. Cool. whatever. It's just a new way to take in the lore. Now you could say it's a new way to take in the lore with the who's who of Westeros, but that one actually seems really stupid. At this point, do we really need a who's who of Westeros? I think we are all pretty familiar with the Game of Thrones characters. Maybe not the A Song of Ice and Fire ones. And then I was really nervous because he said, oh, I keep inventing new characters so we can't get the who's out. Are you really writing so much that you're constantly inventing these new characters, George? I don't believe you. I think it would have made more sense to do a who's who book of House of the Dragon, so the people that were major players in the Dance of the Dragons, that would make sense. But just doing a general who's who, I don't know. I guess I really can't talk a lot of shit on that because I do actually have a lot of 4 different sci-fi fantasy franchises. I have the books that have the images and then a little blurb about the character, so I'm still absolutely holding on to he is close to getting wins done. I know that's like a completely fairy tale, but I'm hoping this winter it's gonna happen. Anyways, next cult meeting this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.